The Southeast Asia region is widely regarded as one of the most promising areas in the world. It is home to the Association of Southern Asian Nations, Asean, an economic and political union that is considered the next European Union of the world. ASEAN comprises 10 nations, many of which are among the fastest growing in the world. Despite this, one of the most interesting aspects of ASEAN is its potential for a common currency similar to the euro. While some experts believe that the region is ready for this concept, it remains to be seen if it can truly be implemented. To understand this, let us first go a few decades back. One proposal that made headways for a monetary union was called the Asian Currency Unit, ACU. Modeled after the European Currency Unit, Euro, the ACU aimed to promote financial stability and reduce the cost of cross-border business by eliminating currency risk, which would increase interregional trade and lower the cost of goods and services. This proposal included China, Japan, South Korea, and the ASEAN nations, but it never came to fruition. If we were to hypothetically consider the adoption of the ACU or the creation of a currency solely for the ASEAN nations today, what would be the potential outcomes? Would it push the economics for faster development, or would it actually hinder the growth of the region? The first stop on our journey to understand this is the land of economic integration. The creation of a common currency would have facilitated greater trade and investment among ASEAN countries. There have been several studies out there that found that a common currency could increase interregional trade by up to 50%. In this world, the ASEAN common currency would have roared across the region, fueling economic growth and fostering a sense of unity among the nations. A further look into Europe may also give us clear answers for how a common currency in ASEAN would look like. According to a study by the European Central Bank, the introduction of the euro saved European businesses around 13 to 20 billion euros in transaction costs annually. These savings can be passed on to consumers in the form of lower prices and can also lead to increased cross-border investment. Furthermore, a common currency makes it easier for consumers and businesses to compare prices across countries, fostering competition and potentially leading to lower prices. This price transparency can also help reduce market segmentation and enhance economic efficiency. A research published in 2009 suggests that price convergence occurred in the Eurozone after the introduction of the euro, leading to a reduction in price dispersion across member countries. However, the adoption of a common currency also comes with its share of challenges and potential drawbacks. One of the most significant concerns is the loss of monetary policy autonomy. Each member country would have to cede control of its monetary policy to a central authority, which may not always be in line with individual nations' unique economic circumstances. For instance, during an economic downturn, a country with a common currency might not be able to devalue its currency to boost exports, as it would have to consider the collective needs of the entire region. Further, having diverse economic structures and varying levels of development among ASEAN countries posed significant obstacles to integration. In a 2014 article by Icon Green, he noted that the absence of a common fiscal policy could lead to tensions among member countries. On top of these tensions and a loss of monetary policy autonomy, the member countries of ASEAN, each with its own unique history and national identity, would have had to navigate the tricky waters of sovereignty and national pride. In the words of political scientist Amitabh Acharya, Southeast Asia is a region marked by a high degree of cultural, linguistic, and religious diversity. A common currency's presence would have sparked debates on the loss of national identity and the risk of domination by larger economies. And finally, the process of economic integration through a common currency could expose the region to increased risk of financial contagion. As seen in the European debt crisis, economic difficulties in one country can quickly spread to others through the interconnected financial markets, undermining the stability of the entire region. In the case of ASEAN, the region's vulnerability to external shocks, such as fluctuations in global commodity prices or sudden capital outflows, could be exacerbated by the adoption of a common currency. Considering these pros and cons is crucial to our overall debate. As we reach the final part of this video, we must ask ourselves, would a common currency truly benefit the ASEAN region, and should it be adopted? Well, as we reflect on this, it is impossible not to draw parallels with another common currency that has already made its mark on the world stage, the euro of the European Union. The euro's story is a complex one, filled with both triumphs and tribulations, and offers valuable insights into the potential benefits and drawbacks of a common currency. In the beginning, the euro was hailed as a symbol of European unity and a catalyst for economic growth. It was a bold experiment, an attempt to merge the disparate economies and cultures of Europe into a cohesive whole. And in many ways, it succeeded. According to several studies, the euro led to increased trade among member countries, improved economic stability, and facilitated the free movement of people and capital across the region. The currency's creation showcased the potential benefits of a shared monetary system, much like the dream of the ACU in Southeast Asia. However, the euro's story is also a cautionary tale. The currency union has faced its share of crises, from the sovereign debt debacle in Greece to the simmering tensions between wealthier and poorer member countries. Critics argue that the euro has exacerbated economic inequalities within the region, as evidenced by the divergence in growth rates and unemployment levels among eurozone countries. Economists like to point out that the euro has failed to achieve either of its two principal goals of propensity and political integration. These goals are now more distant than they were before the creation of the eurozone. The euro's struggles can be traced, in part, to its incomplete architecture. Lacking a common fiscal policy, the currency union has struggled to respond effectively to economic shocks and divergent needs among member countries. As some political scientist observes, the eurozone is caught in a no-man's land between a fully fledged federation and a loose intergovernmental cooperation. The euro's story thus offers a sobering reminder of the challenges that could have faced the ACU, had it come to fruition in Southern Asia. Despite its shortcomings, the euro has also demonstrated resilience and adaptability. It has weathered numerous crises and emerged, albeit battered and bruised, as a symbol of European cooperation and perseverance. The currency's survival offers hope that a common currency, whether in Europe or Southeast Asia, can learn from its mistakes and adapt to changing circumstances. Besides comparing to the euro, a common currency on its own as adopted by the Asean region could witness a significant surge in intra-regional trade and investment. The elimination of currency risk and reduced transaction costs could catalyze business activities, fostering tighter economic integration. A shared currency could also enhance price transparency across borders, driving competition and potentially lowering prices for consumers. However, this would also mean the loss of individual monetary policy autonomy, compelling member nations to move in sync with the collective needs of the region. Disparities in economic structures and levels of development could magnify, leading to potential tensions. Sovereignty and national identity debates could also come to fore, as smaller nations might perceive a risk of domination by larger economies. Moreover, increased susceptibility to financial contagion, similar to the eurozone crisis, could pose a threat. The idea of a common currency for ASEAN nations remains an intriguing proposition, offering potential benefits such as increased regional integration, enhanced global competitiveness, and greater economic efficiency. The euro, a real-world example of a common currency, has shown both the benefits and drawbacks of such an endeavor, providing valuable insights for ASEAN policymakers to consider. While there are clear advantages to adopting a common currency in the ASEAN region, it is essential to carefully weigh the risks and challenges associated with such a move. The loss of monetary policy autonomy, the need for fiscal coordination, and the potential for financial contagion all present significant obstacles that need to be overcome for a common currency to succeed. The ultimate decision of whether or not to adopt a common currency in ASEAN hinges on the region's ability to learn from the experiences of the eurozone and to develop a robust framework that accommodates the diverse needs of its member countries. But anyway, do let us know what you think. Thanks for watching.